Hey y'all, it's Sade Imore, your favorite expat with nomadic tendencies. Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be bridging the gap between the two videos that I uploaded last, which was African American takes the ferry from Egypt to Jordan and how to purchase the Jordan Pass. Now, some may know, but many don't, that I'm actually a resident of Egypt. And the only difference between my visa and a person who has a tourist visa for 30 days is that I had to get a re-entry stamp. That would allow me to enter Egypt at least 3 times without having to pay for a visa. So if you're watching this video and you are not a resident, then this part doesn't matter for you because you're free to go and come as you please. Now, don't get me wrong, I can leave Egypt anytime I want, but if I don't meet the certain requirement as far as how long I'm gone, or if I allow my residency to expire, then I too will have to pay for another 30-day visa and then apply to get residency again. So to avoid all of that, I simply got a re-entry stamp. There were 2 options that I was looking at as far as transportation, and that was flight or ferry when it came to get into Jordan. As you guys know, I chose the ferry because it was cost effective, and I feel like we were spiritually led to go that way. Biblically, there are a few things that we have been studying and looking at, and it was a powerful thing to be able to not have all of the pieces, but have enough to kind of say, dang, that's deep. We wanted to just like document this for you guys so that way you won't have to kind of eat the breadcrumbs that we had to eat, and I mean a lot of them, to get to this point. Now, the Jordan Pass and the ASEZA, I hope I'm saying it right, the Aseza visa, are kind of the same, but they're definitely not the same. And the reason why I say that is because the Jordan Pass will allow you to get a free visa, which means it'll waive the fee if you stay in Jordan for at least 4 days, 3 nights. There's no way around it. If you don't and you get to immigration to exit the country, all they have to do is look it up in the system. And if you're lying, you're just gonna have to pay for that visa as well as pay for your exit fee. Everybody has to pay an exit fee to leave Jordan, but just know that you'll have to pay for the visa at that time, as well as for any extra days that you stayed past the 30 days or whatever the case may be. So I would just suggest to you, stay 4 days, 3 nights if you decide to get the Jordan Pass, and save yourself the hassle. When it comes to the Aseza visa, as long as you enter and exit the same port, which is the Aqaba port, within 30 days, you, my love, can get a free visa. It's just as simple as that. Now, if I knew what I knew now about that Aseza visa, that would have saved us a lot of headache and just frustration at the beginning of this whole process as far as tours were concerned. To me, it was almost like they didn't want to give you the full details, and I think it's by design so that way you will use their services instead of just figuring it out on your own. But that's just not the way we roll, especially when you don't answer the phone, or every time I choose a tour it's not available, or you're saying that you could do it for me but then you're reworking it in a way that just don't make no sense. It just became too much. I'm asking about the prices, where do I go to make payment for the ferry, what time do I have to be there, and it was just it was just all of these breadcrumbs that were leading to what we needed, but we just couldn't get it all in one place, and it was very, very frustrating. So the purpose of this video is to help you guys out. I showed you step by step how I purchased the Jordan Pass and gave you the deets on how I left Egypt and got to Jordan. Now it's time for me to explain the immigration process once you actually get to Aqaba, Jordan. Okay, so there are a few things that you need to know. There's only one ferry port of Jordan, and that is the Aqaba port of Jordan. Okay, that's it. Okay, you can get a free visa, and it's called the Aseza visa or Aseza visa. Aqaba Special Economic Zone Authority. I hope I said that right. There is no obligation as long as you enter and exit the same border. If you'd like to stay longer, meaning you want an extension on the Aseza visa, you have to go to the Aseza office in Aqaba, not the police station. If you arrive at any other entry port and declare to the authorities that you're going to go to Aqaba to get the free visa, you have to do so within 48 hours of you entering Jordan. If not, you will have to pay 1.5 Jordan dinars per each unregistered day, as well as pay for that visa. So don't play with them. Now, as far as immigration goes, it's supposed to be as simple as this. You enter the building, go through TSA. When you get through TSA, you'll stand in line to wait for the person who's working at the passport kiosk. They will ask you a series of questions, maybe how long do you plan on staying, or what is the purpose of your visit. You answer, they take a picture, stamp your passport, tell you welcome. You then proceed to get your SIM card as well as convert some of your money, and then you'll get your last passport check right at the door before you go through that walkway and walk to the bus or taxi or driver, whoever is waiting, or you'll do that, and then the process will be done. But as always, it never works out that way. Not with us anyway. I don't know if it's because we are American or if we are a little deeply melanated. All I know is that every single time that we have to deal with immigration, they find a way to kind of waste our time. So have your stuff together, have all your paperwork together, have what you need, so that way even if they do try to give you a hard time, it's gonna be all right because you have everything in order. We actually had to sit when we first got to the immigration office, and the guy took our passports, took them to the back. He told us that we'll get the 30-day free visa, and that as long as we came, left the same way we came, everything will be fine. I mean, he was cool. But then one guy told us after a little while that we needed to come to the back, and then the same guy who took our visa was like, our passport was like, we need to go through TSA. So we went through TSA, and then we stood in line. Long story short, they wasted 2 hours of our time questioning us about our purpose of being there, which made absolutely no sense. But again, we had everything. We had our documents together, everything was set, we knew where we were staying, everything was fine. So yeah, they wasted 2 hours of our time, but we were able to go through it. And I just feel like when you're dealing with immigration, it's about who's working that day. It's not always that way, but you can pretty much expect it. Just expect it, so that way you won't be surprised if it does happen. We finally got through to him that we were, we had the Jordan Pass, even though we had been showing him this the whole time. as well as some of the other workers who kept asking us the same question over and over again. We provided the documentation, were able to get through, and after that we had an amazing time. It was stressful. It was just a lot of moving pieces because Jordan is kind of costly and things are far away from each other, and it was their holiday because it was their Independence Day, so they were kind of just doing their own thing. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just explain why I ended up choosing to go the ferry route as well as get the Jordan Pass, because it saved me money, it was cost effective, and I didn't want to have to pay an entry fee for every attraction that I went to. If the child is 12 and under, they were free under the Jordan Pass. I knew that I wanted to go to more than 1 or 2 attractions, so to actually have that pass just made me feel more secure, and then that was just something less that I didn't have to deal with. Well, anyway, that's all that I had. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.